Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so it's the next day. Well, it's still my birthday, but it's the evening of my birthday. Um, as you can probably see, my eyes are really low. I'm trying to like open them up, but I'm really exhausted. I did not sleep that well last night. Um, for those of you who know what labor feels like, you would know what I'm about to describe. Um, my pain level last night had reached at least a 5 um, before everything happened this morning. Um, I was like tossing and turning throughout the night. I could not sleep on my left side, which is really weird because when I was pregnant, I couldn't sleep on my left side either. Even though they say sleeping on your side is the best way to sleep and sleeping on your left side is the best way to lay or whatever, but I couldn't lay on my left side because my stomach was always giving me problems. But last night I found out that that's probably where the baby was implanted, on the left side, because that's where the majority of the pain was when I actually started having the contractions. And it wasn't like a on again, off again, you get to time it type of contraction. It was a ongoing contraction. Like, it never stopped to me. It would get less intense, but the pain actually never went away. And it was like to the point where like my whole uterus was cramping, and then on top of the whole uterus cramping, the left side had a stronger feeling of pain there. And then it was radiating down my thigh towards my knee last night. So I was like, oh my god, like this has got to hurry up and stop. Excuse my attire and my look again. I just took a shower and I am about to go to sleep. I've been with the kids all day today. I did not get any sleep during this horrific event. So yeah, I'm like pretty worn out. But I wanted to let you guys know, part two to the, you know. So, trying to get my thoughts together. So where I left off last night was, me taking the pill, everything starting to happen, and everything, pretty much intensifying throughout the night. Um, I just can't, I'm still like in disbelief of what has occurred. Like really in disbelief because I really wanted this baby. Like I was really excited about it. I was really excited about turning 3 months today. And I'm doing this because I can feel the difference in the hormone. Like I still have a little bit of that but nauseated feeling in my throat, just a little. Like when you first, even maybe even before you really notice, oh, I have a little bit of morning sickness. It's like that. But oh man. So here we go. Last night, at some point I woke up. I want to say I went to sleep sometime around 2 in the morning after I got off with you guys, because I just couldn't fall asleep. I was laying down watching TV, and I had somehow dozed off in the midst of everything, which was somewhere around, the last time I looked at the clock, it was somewhere around 2 o'clock in the morning. I I got up to use the bathroom, and there was hardly no bleeding at all anymore. Like, it was like little spots of bleeding. Like, I had on a panty liner. That's how light the bleeding was initially. And then, oh boy, was I in for a treat this morning. Like I said, I went to the bathroom, came back, got in the bed, and I actually had like a little bit of, like a little slight mild diarrhea last night. Like, it wasn't nothing like, oh, I keep going to the bathroom with the runs or something. It was like I went, I had a BM like 2 times or whatever. And then, like I said, I went back to sleep around, after I used the bathroom I want to say around 3 o'clock, because I woke up somewhere around 3-ish, 4-ish o'clock in the morning, went to the bathroom, came back, noticed, the light spotting, and came back and went to sleep. Again, very uncomfortable, tossing and turning, trying to get comfortable. And then when I finally did get comfortable and fall asleep and doze off, I woke up shortly after that. It had to be like 5 o'clock this morning. It had to be like 5:15. I went to the bed. I woke up and I was wet. Like, panties all wet. The bed was wet. The sheet was wet. The cover was wet. Everything was wet. And I'm like, what am I sweating? Like, what is going on? Because sometimes that tends to happen to me, not at nighttime, but during the summer, I sweat a lot in private areas, put it that way. So I kind of have to take a lot of showers. Anyway, I got up, and I was thinking that it was blood, but it wasn't. My water must have broke at that time, because it was clear. It was clear fluid. It looked like I peed on myself, but I didn't, of course, so I had to take everything off the bed that was on the bed and change cover, change sheets, and things like that at 5 o'clock this morning. I laid back down, to say, okay, we're going to keep on pushing on. And then the excruciating pain came. That's where and like I said, it wasn't like an excruciating, like, oh, I'm 8 centimeters or something with a full-term baby type of contractions. It was not like that. It was like a steady, ongoing pain that was increasing. And like I said, my pain tolerance got up to a 5, 6 maybe, because I couldn't get comfortable, and I was just in here, and I was me in labor. When it first begins and you first start feeling those mild contractions and, that discomfort, I tend to rock. I'll just have a little rock going on to kind of, I don't know what the rock does. It just kind of helps me deal with the pain. But then the rock turns into a, like a moan type of thing. So I was at that point. By the time I came back and got in the bed, I was moaning and rocking. And at some point, I dozed back off. And at about 6:15, 6:20, maybe even 6:30, I got up. I felt another gush. And here comes the red stuff. So I had to get up and go to the bathroom. And well, first let me say this. When I went to the bathroom and my water broke, I came back in the room and the water was leaking out of me in the bathroom. And I'm like standing over the toilet, like, over the bowl. I'm standing and it's dripping out. I come out of the bathroom, come in the room to get a towel, and it's dripping out on my floor, on my pants that were on the floor. It was just dripping everywhere, and I'm like, oh my God. So when the blood came out, it was kind of the same way, but it wasn't dripping. It was running down my legs, like streams of blood just running down my legs. I felt something inside of my vagina. So I went to the bathroom. I got some tissue, and there's this big flat clot looking thing that came out. I'm not even sure if that was the placenta or it was the baby. I'm not sure, but I think honestly that it was the placenta because it was big, round, and flat. It didn't look like it had any baby parts on it. So I was, kind of wondering why did the placenta come out and not the baby coming out first. But anyway, so after the whatever that was, if it was or wasn't the placenta, whatever that was, it wasn't a clot though, because clots are, round and they kind of sticky and, you could tell what a clot is. That wasn't a clot. So, after the clot came out, more blood gushing out. So I came back in the room. I lay back down on the bed. I felt another big gush, and in my bed, it's a big red spot on my brand new mattress, and the mattress is white. And I can't get it out. So if you have any suggestions on how to get blood out of a mattress, comment below for real. But I had to once again take all of the cover off, all the sheets off again, and went back to the bathroom. And more blood is gushing out. More blood. And it's like so much blood. It's like, oh my God, it's coming out like water. Like how water runs, it's coming out like that. Bright red, gushing blood everywhere. And I'm sorry for being so descriptive and gross and TMI right now, but I'm trying to, tell you guys. So then, I felt not like a big urge to push, but it felt like something was coming inside of my vagina. So I was like, what is that? And I pushed, and whatever it was, I caught it in the tissue when I wiped it, and it looked like baby parts. Like it was like a pinkish parts. I could not identify what they were though, whether or not it really was the baby or not. But it seemed like it was like not real like skin like my skin, your skin type of skin, but like how you would envision your baby to look as far as in your uterus type of skin. So yeah, it was like that, and I just figured that's the baby right there. And then after that part came out, all the pain went away. So I know I had passed the baby by then. Because I wasn't in pain anymore. And, oh my God. After that, it was like so much blood coming out of me. It seemed like somebody took blood-filled balloons and shoved them up my crotch, and they were popping, and there would be blood gushing out, and then another one would pop and there'd be blood gushing out, and it was so much blood. I went through a whole pack of pads. A whole pack. That's how much blood. And a small pad pack, you at least get 12 pads in them. And I went through all of them. I changed my clothes at least 5 times because I had blood, like to the point where I could not get out of the bed without blood gushing out of me, getting out of the bed, clothes drenched in blood. I was so scared and freaked out when my boyfriend came through the door this morning. I was in there sitting on the toilet crying. Just like hysterically crying, like I don't know what to do. Oh my God. I had called my mom, like, Mom, you gotta come help me. I need you. But she had, it was mandatory for her to go to work today, so she couldn't help me or whatever. But I'm just like, when he came through the door, I'm just like hysterically crying, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what this is. Why is there so much blood? Oh my God, I think I'm dying. I need to go to the hospital. Like I was just hysterical because I'm like, I have never experienced this before. having a child, having an abortion. I have never been through this before. Like, my uterus would not clamp back down for nothing. And I was just like, I don't know what the hell to do. I lied to you not. At 9 o'clock this morning, I was on that phone calling my doctor's office because I needed to speak to someone other than an advice nurse or answering answering service or whatever. I need to speak to somebody who can call my doctor or tell him to come to the phone right now. But they tell me that's normal because it's the medication working to make sure your uterus gets all of the baby material out. So I'm just sitting here bleeding for like 4 hours. With the kids being here, everything, like, I felt like I was about to pass out. Like, I was so worn out. Like, I still am worn out. I was so worn out. I had to lay down, and like the blood was still like gushing out, and I just laid on the bed. I had 2 towels under me, just so you know, but I just laid on the bed. I was like, I can't get up no more. I can't get up. I can't change my clothes. I done cleaned the bathroom like every time that I had went in the bathroom while I was bleeding like that. I had went to the bathroom and redecorated the bathroom. You hear me? So I am praying and believing that I will never, ever go through this again. Ever have another miscarriage again. I claim it. That I will never experience that again. Because that was the most horrific thing I have ever dealt with in my life. And it wasn't even, my thing yesterday was passing the baby and seeing the baby and it being, like so, like just like the pictures are, and me seeing it and freaking out and crying. No, it wasn't even that. It was me freaking out crying over the blood part, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to die, because you know how some people have those post-delivery hemorrhages, and they do die. My grandmother, she actually went through that with my aunt. She had a post-delivery hemorrhage, and they couldn't get her to stop bleeding, and she almost had to have a hysterectomy, but thankful enough she stopped bleeding or whatever. But she went on to have 2 more kids after that, but that would have freaked me out, and I would have been like, I ain't having no more children. Because I'm probably going to bleed to death the next time. They ain't going to be able to bring me back, But anyway, I still am a little numb about it. I did eventually stop bleeding, just to let you guys know. It's pretty much nothing now. Like, I done bled every daggone thing out of me. Which is great. I think that's great, because it's about to stop. So, that's awesome. But, yeah. I'm kind of still emotional, because it's still kind of like a dream to me. Like, my baby is gone. It doesn't seem real. But I don't feel pregnant anymore. I feel like myself. My boobs have stopped hurting. Like, my boobs used to hurt, like, up in this area. Not really like the nipple was sensitive, like, taking a bra off, or somebody just, like, rubbing it, like, raising it a little bit. You're like, that hurt. But I'm still in awe about it. Like, I can't believe it, and I kind of just want to be like, okay, let's hurry up. Like, last night before I actually went to sleep the first time, I was Googling all kind of questions about after the miscarriage, so can you get pregnant right away? When should you start trying? Could you ovulate before? I really want to have twins. Like, I really, really want to have twins. So I'm claiming that next time it's going to be twins, a boy and a girl. And watch what I tell you when I start making my new vlogs for pregnancy, that I'm gonna come out and be like, you guys, it's twins. It's 2 in it. I'm claiming it. Watch. Um, but yeah, um, it's so crazy, and my phone will be ringing right now, but I'm gonna keep on recording real quick. Um, it's so crazy that hold up. I'm gonna just turn up. Oh well, it'll stop ringing. So great. But it's so crazy, and like I said, I'm still in awe and everything. But it's cool because tomorrow is the 4th of July. Today is my birthday. My boo don't have to work tomorrow, so we gonna probably try to turn up a little bit. But I googled some questions like, are you more? The twins question was like, are you more subject to get pregnant with twins after a miscarriage or whatever? And you would be surprised that a lot of people was like that you do, that they had hyper stimulation in their ovary to drop more than one egg after their cycle, after their miscarriage, and they went on to have healthy twins. So crossing our fingers for that. Then as far as like the ovulation question of whether or not you ovulate before you have your cycle when you have a miscarriage, a lady had said, and I think I said it in my video, that you can ovulate 6 days after after your miscarriage. You can ovulate. Well, she ovulated 6 days after, and I'm pretty much thinking, and WebMed was like that you can ovulate 2 to 2.5 weeks after your miscarriage is over, and then you go on to have your first cycle. So I do believe that before you ever have a cycle, when you first have your first cycle, I believe you ovulate 2 weeks before. So yeah. With that being said, I want to try. Honestly, I do, because I want my babies. I have to say babies now, because I don't want just one. I want my babies that I was having, and I believe that it was a girl. Heart of hearts, that I believe it was my daughter, my little Lily, because my oldest daughter told me today. She said she found out about me losing the baby, and she said, "Oh, I lost my sister." And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, I miss her. I want you to have another her. I need you to have another girl, mommy." And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "She's going to come back." So I believe that. And I'm getting a little teary-eyed. So excuse me if I cry, but yeah, she said that she was going to come back. And I believe her. And like I said, I believe that my son that I had the abortion with, I believe he's going to come back too. So I have to be hopeful, that my babies are going to come back the next time that I get pregnant. And let's just pray that it happens soon. I also read about when are you expected to have your first cycle after a miscarriage, and it said between 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm guessing somewhere by the end of this month to the middle of next month, I should be ovulating and starting a new cycle. So we'll see, and I'm going to start wrapping you up because I'm about to go to sleep. And after I return, whoever called me. But anyway, guys, happy birthday to me again. Yay. And I'll check you guys later. Deuces.